So see that blue light right there, homie?
Yeah.
That is the world. The world? My brother, Mr. Nick Nutter. If you don't know him, then you don't really know much about combat fighting, wrestling, or MMA, right?
Or lovemaking.
I don't know anything about that. But what I can tell you is this guy at one time was voted like 500th toughest guy in the world.
19th and prom king. 19th.
Whoa, 19th? That is a big difference.
Not
between
500, 19th.
Wow, man, that's pretty badass. And he also is my brother.
Not really.
Yeah, but and he loves me more than anyone in the world.
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
And him and I are gonna have a new show together,
We'll see.
and it is gonna be pretty cool.
We'll see.
Well, let me kind of rewind stuff here. Back in the day, about 2 years ago, probably.
For what?
The Sportsman Show.
Oh yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, me and this guy started putting together, because I did music, and he knows a lot about fighting and stuff. And
Everything.
I love, he doesn't know everything, really. But I know everything, and he knows fighting, and he can, like, tell you all the new moves, where back in my day, it was not what they call it now. Like, I actually think they picked names that make you, like, rare naked choke. Like that, that's crazy. Like, what was that called? Like the half Nelson and the Nelson and shit like that.
Father Nelson, if you're Catholic.
There you go. But it's just crazy how they change the names to like shit. Like, you don't want to talk about being in for two reasons.
Right.
That's so great. But anyways, we're gonna be doing stuff like that on this new show, and it's basically going to be, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me introduce what happened about 2 years ago. So we had a show where him and I started putting together a show. We didn't really know what we were going to do, but it was going to be an MMA show. We were doing on the road, doing fighting together. I did the music and the hosting. He did the play-by-play.
No, color commentator.
Yeah, that's what he did. And him and I ended up being roommates, and he was
Miserable.
He made me miserable. Yeah, big time. But he's my big brother. I love the guy to death. So him and I are gonna do a new show. The first show though had music and MMA stuff, right? And I introduced new music, so he actually would find music that fit like fighter stuff, and we would play music for fighters to walk into the ring. And it was pretty cool. It started becoming like a thing where we were like dropping new music. And then he got all involved in music with me, kind of. You became like a really
savant.
Yeah, he was a pretty renowned singer, man. I actually saw him drop it like it's hot in a few bars.
Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot, one of the best artists ever from 1990. People say,
see what I mean?
People say
Amazing.
Tupac or Biggie, but Sir Mix-a-Lot is a lyrical genius. And
he changed your life?
He did, in more ways than one.
All I know is no bar is ever asleep when you're on the mic, dude. You tear it up.
I would agree.
Every girl starts dancing. This guy's amazing. So we have a new show. This is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have some cool music. He might even have musicians on his show, but it's going to be called...
Not Just Another Sports Show?
That was the old one.
Oh.
This one is Nutter's House, because
Nutter's House.
We're actually in, if you can't tell, we're in we're out at the Corrupt Farm. We're out in the garage here. We've got a whole zoo over there in the corner, man.
Yeah. And his mom's making us cookies for his
Heck yeah, or moonshine. So, anyways, we're here, and I actually started Corrupt TV in the garage. So I figured it was only right to set up
your roots.
Yeah, set up the home studio out here. And I wanted to do our first episode here so we could introduce the new cool ass show. So that tells you kind of how we got the show idea together. And I'm working now with a new company called Advanced Sports Network. And we're going to be doing a lot of crazy, amazing things with all kinds of sports across the board. But one of our flagship shows is going to be this Nutter's House. It's going to basically be no
holds barred.
Yeah, pretty much, because he's going to do, this guy's out of his mind, he's going to do crazy stuff. You might see a drinking show one day, you might see naked sledding another day.
You won't see a broccoli eating contest, though.
You won't see that. Well, he won't be in it. You might see it.
Right.
Yeah, unless it's got a lot of cheese on it.
Well, yeah.
You'll crush,
deep fried.
You'll crush some broccoli and cheese.
Deep fried.
Yeah, and unbelievably, this guy is my nutritionist that helped me lose a lot of weight. that's what the craziest thing is.
I say do as I say, not as I do.
Well, yeah, me.
I know what to do. I just don't practice what I preach.
But anyways, we're going to do this cool new thing where we're going to put the spotlight on music. I was going to say music. What we will be doing now, what we calling artists out. But the MMA world has a lot of great things happening, a lot of superstars, a lot of amazing people have put a lot of time and energy on it, but there's a lot of Hollywood getting into the MMA world, and we're going to call that out. We're going to put it on blast because, like I said, this guy's the 320, the 19th toughest guy in the world. So who cares if they don't like it? What are they going to do? Come to Nutter's house? If they come to Nutter's house and start a fight, we'll have it on video.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. So anyways,
I'm not going to call it anybody tougher than me. I might not be 19th in it more, but maybe 19,000.
With the two of us, we could maybe get it done. All right, but anyway, so we're going to start doing a lot of crazy, amazing things. That's just one thing. I got a show that I'm going to personally be doing with the MMA, involving all the gyms across the nation that are going to be tied into his show. And we're going to be bringing in fighters, promotions. He's going to have a show where people are going to be calling in on Skype. He's going to be having people live. He's going to be having people partying. He's going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But it is the Nutter Show. I'll be co-hosting with him sometimes. But for the most part, it's going to be whatever comes out of this man's head. And I can tell you pretty much, he came from Ohio State. So he's pretty much hanging out with that frat guy 24/7.
I'm 42 years old, and I still feel like I'm in college. And I will do stupid things. So if you guys text or
all the time,
if you guys request something crazy, I'll consider doing it. As long as it doesn't embarrass my wife.
Even live on the show.
Yeah, I'll do crazy things.
I love it.
There's no hot wing out there that I won't eat. I'll do crazy things, and I think I have some knowledge on sports, and especially MMA. And I'll give you my 2 cents for what it's worth. And like I said, I'll expose people, but if you're tougher than me, I'll probably say you're a genius and won't say much bad about you.
And I would like to take a moment here for all of you people around the world to kind of know this guy. Because some of you might think you know him, but let me tell you why I chose this guy to be a part of the show. Because this is just one part of the show. Him and I have been speaking a while. We got a whole network coming. There's a lot of amazing things happening. But this guy has been a part of Ohio's history for sports, from wrestling to working with some of the UFC greats, being a part of one of the greatest legacies in the UFC history, Hammer House. And he got to fight with, I consider, one of the greatest fighters ever, Mark Coleman. And the guy, there's been one time that there's been a fight where all the greatest fighters in the whole world all got together to fight, and this guy was actually just considered somebody as an old guy that was just a big name that they're just going to throw in there, and he ended up winning it all. And this guy was his sparring partner the whole time. And every time I hang out with Coleman and I talk to him, which I love also, he's a great guy, he always tells me, I'll tell you, only one guy that I think is one of the toughest guys in the world is this guy. I know, it's crazy, but he's the nicest guy in the whole world, and we're lucky to have him. And I'm really excited about the show. He's a really funny guy. So let's talk about your history. So now we know about you. You want to tell us about your some wrestling background that you have? Where did you? I know that you were an actual high school all-star before you even got to Ohio State. So you kind of want to tell us about that? And please speak up because our mic's way over there.
All right. Well, listen, I usually am goofy, but I'll be serious for a second. Growing up, Dad was a high school wrestling coach. I had a brother that was a wrestler, younger than me, and he used to beat me quite a bit growing up, which I don't tell everybody. But honestly, that drove me to be better. I wanted to beat my little brother, and grew up, not rich, not poor, but grew up blue class worker, and hit puberty late. So I was always the bigger guy wrestling the guy with hair under his armpits. So I took a lot of beatings in my life, and looking back, I don't regret that. It made me who I am, and if you take beatings long enough, eventually you're going to give out a beating. So, my career has been, Dad is a wrestling coach, younger brother would always beat me, and that fueled my fire. People saying, "Oh, you won't be good at wrestling. You suck. You're too fat. You're da-da-da." And you know what? I just chalked all that up to my data bank. Like, okay, I'll make you eat, bro. Yeah. So, there was a day of validation, and junior year in high school, I took second in the state, and I should have won that one.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Going on to junior nationals, which was a big tournament in Fargo, North Dakota. I won both of those. Then I came back my senior year, won high school nationals.
You were in the Fargo, North Dakota movie?
No, that's not true. I was in a wrestling tournament in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, how interesting was that?
It was more interesting than the movie, I guarantee that.
I agree on that as well.
So, anyways, I ended up, I think I got 6 or 7 national titles under my belt. Mm-hmm. And then got into, if you're a great high school baseball player or college baseball player or football player, you could go on to pro NFL, MLB, basketball. Wrestling had no outlet. No. So luckily in the 1990s, a sport came out called UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and that was an outlet for wrestlers to sort of go pro.
You're going too fast. I want to explain something. So let's slow down about the wrestling part, because you got to go to Ohio State, and you destroyed wrestlers at Ohio State. You and Coleman actually got to be a part of the Olympic wrestling team.
No, I didn't destroy people. I was an All-American by the grace of God.
He destroyed
at
people.
Ohio State. But
I actually, in high school, there was when I was a kid growing up, there was a place called the Nutter Center where they held state tournaments. I actually thought it was named after this guy because I was a kid. I thought it was. I was like, "Oh, that's the Nutter House. They named it after that monster." I didn't know him at the time, but I actually thought that house was named after your family.
It technically is.
It's not, but
it
should have been.
To be invaded.
They owned it. Right. So, anyways, that was in high school. So then you go to college to Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And when he's in Ohio State, he's an All-American. Was it 96 when you guys?
1996 All-American.
Yeah.
And 96 Olympic wrestling. Mark Coleman was in the freestyle. I was in Greco-Roman. I think we were both at 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds. He ended up, at the trials taking 3rd or 4th. He didn't make the Olympics that year. He did, however, in 1992. And I, at the 96 Olympic trials, took 3rd. And the funny thing is, the guy that won the trials, I beat a month before at the U.S. Nationals. So
the story of your life.
Yeah, technically, I took 3rd at Olympic trials. So technically, top 3 are in the Olympic team. Now I needed 2 people to get hurt in front of me, which they didn't do. But anyways, I'm proud of that. And
yeah, it's awesome.
I sleep well at night.
Yeah. So funny story how you get into the fight game. Do you want to tell it?
Yeah.
So let's set it up. He's a kid in Ohio State, and you know this awesome, crazy guy named Mark Coleman that's been fighting with the UFC. He invented a thing called the ground and pound. He, with the hammer fist, just beat people to a pulp. And they start telling Coleman, "Hey, you got some more people like you?" And he's like, I'm the wrestling coach at Ohio State. I got a non-stop river of crazy badass wrestlers at Ohio State. So this guy, who happens to be one of his favorite guys at Ohio State, who he was wrestling with, he always liked the guy.
One thing real quick is the reason why he liked me is because he said I smelled good. When you're wrestling heavyweight, a lot of heavyweights don't smell good. So Coleman, on like day one when he wrestled me, he's like, "Wow, Nutter doesn't have BO. He wipes properly." And
how would he know you wipe properly?
Because I didn't smell like shit. But he's like,
I thought you were gonna say you checked my oil.
No.
On the first date.
No, that's something a corrupt would do. Anyways, I believe in good.
Hey man, you know when you shoot that high crotch, sometimes the film that your goal is to be in that area anyway, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Goal. I just remember one coach would always be like, check the oil.
And that coach is now in jail for child molestation.
I hope so.
Okay. But moral of the story is, basically, I wasn't a fighter. I'd never been in a street fight in my life. I was prom king in 1992. I'm always the fun guy. But Mark Coleman...
That's up to debate. He can also be the fun guy.
I got the crown at home, bitch.
All right, I guess he wins.
Okay. So, anyways, I was the nice guy, and I got a funny blog. If you go to The Nick Nutter on Facebook, check out the blog, but I'll give you a short version of it. But basically, Mark Coleman was dominating the UFC, and he said to me, "Nutter, you should fight." I'm like, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have it in me." And basically, I went home for a weekend, and I was with my girlfriend, who is my wife now, Amy. Hello. And basically, we were out at BW3's, which is called Buffalo Wild Wings, two national people. It originated in Columbus, Ohio, on High Street, by the way. But I was probably eating like two grilled chicken breasts and some broccoli and ice water. And I told my wife that I was probably eating wings and about 5 beers. But I told my wife at that time, who wasn't my wife, I said, Coleman wants me to fight. And she said to me, "Nick, you get your ass kicked." And that pissed me off so bad. Like, that your wife thinks you're a loser and you're going to lose a fight. So I picked
your girlfriend.
She's my girlfriend at the time.
So at the time, you didn't know that she cared about you that as much to be with you forever. You're like, this girl's going to think I'm a sissy.
She's probably the luckiest girl in the world.
Yeah, I know. Because she has like 250 the toughest guy in the world.
19th.
19th toughest guy in the world.
But, so she called me out, and I picked up my cell phone at the time, which was a big cell phone, as I'm sitting next to her, like, "You're Amy," and I call Coleman, and I get him on the phone. I said, "Coleman, it's Nutter." I go, "You know how you wanted me to fight?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Book me one." He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Book it, I'm ready." So I hung up, and I'm like, "Fuck you," to Amy, and lo and behold, I went to bed. Next morning, I wake up, and he's like, "Nutter, check out this webpage. You're fighting in Tel Aviv, Israel in 2 months." I was like, "Oh, fuck." So I was in. That's how I got into fighting.
Tell them how many fights you had before this time.
Zero.
You're not even a street fight.
Nope. No street fight. I'd rather buy a beer and
that is so awesome.
Get you a chicken wing and be buddies than to fight. But anyways, I told him I wanted it, and once my name was on paper, I decided to do it. So that's sort of how I got into fighting. I didn't want to fight. I was always scared of it, and but I don't know how deep you want me to go into that. That's a whole story in
episode
itself.
2, we're going to talk about, you know, your fun times as a fighter. We'll talk about the first experience. We'll make him wait till episode 2.
All right.
So now you know a little bit. I mean, he's worked with some of the greats, and we just actually lost the greats. One with the Hammer House with Kevin passing away, and that's a guy that he got to spend a lot of time with. I know, but not as well as him. I'm the young one, honorary member. These guys actually are
dishonorable member.
Yeah, right. You have to have all your teeth. Like you have to be one. Did any of you guys lose your teeth in a fight?
No. We had a great dental program at The Ohio State University, and they made us great mouthpieces.
What are you talking about? I am a dentist.
You're an oral hygienist. Open your mouth for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Shut up! That's not the truth.
Oh.
But what is the truth is you got into the UFC. You got into fighting by trying to prove your girlfriend now wife that you're a tough guy.
Yeah, it worked. It went well, and like you said, that will be to be continued. That story. It's rather a funny story on how it all went down.
Oh yeah.
And just a teaser is, we trained my ass off. The fight gets canceled. I go out drinking, get really hungover, and I end up flying to Israel the next day.
And we gotta stop it there. So, now what's really going to happen next is back to what we're going to do with Nutter's House. So what do you got in mind for Nutter's House?
I want to do a show of fun things, and I hope it's like, it's led by you guys, the listeners, and you tell me what you want to hear. There's the golden rule, treat others how you would want to be treated. But I call the platinum rule is treat others how they want to be treated. So you guys tell me what you want me to do, what you want me to talk about. If you want me to eat this super hot chicken wing, I'll do it. I'll record it. I'll do just about anything as long as it doesn't compromise my marriage. But I'll do fun things, and I will talk about. I'll give you my 2 cents on sports and MMA, and I got a serious side to me as well. Also got a goofy side, but. Whatever you guys lead me to, I will do it. I'll do whatever you guys want, and I need you guys coaching me to do so.
So let me ask you, we're going to be mixing, we're going to have like a chat, because right now we're pre-recording this stuff, but once we start streaming it live, I actually have a Advanced Sports Network live YouTube channel that will be live streaming all these shows too. So once we start doing the live show, you guys will be able to interact with Nutter live. I'm going to be, like I said, on some of the shows. He's going to be doing most of them. So whether I'm there or not, because I've got like 100 shows I'm a part of. So we're going to talk to you. You can, like you said, ask questions. If there's stuff in the MMA, if you're like, hey, what did you think about this fight? Or eat a hot dog filled with jalapenos, or hey, can you guys I actually want to put you in an inner tube down that one thing. Remember we were looking at that you know what I'm talking about, that when you're in the cities, they have like rivers that go through city tunnels and crap. Did you remember that thing?
Yeah.
It looks dangerous. Like
I don't know if I want to do that.
No,
I'd rather eat a chicken wing.
No, you gotta do like rafting with crazy.
Okay, I'm game for anything as long as I don't die or disrespect my wife.
This has got to be like Jackass mixed with MMA. That's what I was seeing.
I was thinking more of an intellectual show.
Here's some other cool stuff. Like, he's from Ohio State, so I think we might get involved with some college stuff too and send him down to Ohio State and do some things, because you know the campus pretty well. They got some cool rituals.
And
like,
then some.
and we can get him to probably jump into the. Oh, it's cold right now. When do they go down to that pond?
Nothing's cold for me.
When did they go to that pond?
Mirror Lake was last week when Ohio State
Of
beat
course.
the University of Michigan.
I was just about to ask. Great segue. So, what did you think about Michigan?
They're a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, dude, I think it is him breaking the headphones. He threw those headphones a million times. Like, dude, quit being a crybaby.
He is a crybaby, and I will fight Harbaugh's. I will come out of retirement if he wants to get in the cage. I will.
You're like, I'll fight
Harbaugh's.
both of them at the same time.
I didn't say that. They're probably in pretty good shape.
Dude,
but
they're like both 60 years old.
they got abs and they're not obese, so they got
You're
something
like
going.
60 years old now too, right?
And dog years, yeah. Now, listen, I also, before we break, I don't know if we're wrapping it up, but I also...
this is pre-done, so we can edit.
Okay, but I want to do also something nice to you people to know that I'm giving back, but I don't know how many of you guys know what...
You're going to give somebody your champion belt?
No,
Oh.
they're going to have to earn that shit. But if you guys know what the HD Fire Stick is, I am going to teach you guys. You guys know what Cody is. The Cody
Dude,
is.
that's against the law. You can get arrested for this.
I don't care. Cody.
I'm not going to broadcast this.
All right. Anyways, I'm going to show you, and I ask you if you guys like this. I will do this for you and teach you how to do it on your phone.
Okay. He can teach you how to watch movies. We got to get back to the movie. This guy's very ABB.
Okay. If you guys want your Kindle HD Fire Stick on your phone, Android phone, text me or call me, and I will help you out.
Okay, Nick, that's very good for the listeners out there. He can hook you up. And how much will that cost him? They have to like your fan page for them to make you?
I don't care about that.
Do you have another fan page? You do.
I have the Nick Nutter on Facebook.
The Nick Nutter. That's
you don't
what
have
we're
to
gonna,
like it.
Yeah, we're going to make that your official. I like that. So, because you know it's the Ohio State. So when you come on here, you can be like, "What up? You're at Nutter's house. This is the Nick Nutter." That should be your tagline.
Yeah, I'm not that self-righteous, but whatever.
How about these nuts?
No, I just want everybody to
How
love
many
each other.
people
and
have
be
ever
happy.
said that to you in life?
Nobody.
I've said that to you. Shut up.
Like I said, you're a nobody.
Okay. Agreed. Agreed. Good. Another slash. See, so that's what I'm saying. When you're with a show with him and I, it's nonstop insults and fun.
Yeah. But it's fun as a funeral.
I like funerals. What are you talking about?
Only if you don't like the person.
Dude, don't you know that freaking mushroom head family? Like, we love dead people. I love dead people.
All right, keep going.
I love dead people.
You're weird.
Yes. Okay, so anything else you want to tell us? We've had a pretty long show. We can keep it rolling, but I'd like to know what you want to do, because all I had
teach them how to do the Kindle HD Fire Stick.
not on today's show. We got to talk about what your upcoming show. You can teach them on that on another show.
Upcoming show might be me going to Quaker Steak and Lube and eating the Triple Atomic Challenge. That could be fun. And then as I'm done eating it, I will conduct an interview with Mark the Hammer Coleman, one of only a few in the UFC.
Now that would be interesting. Eating hot ass shit, so what we should do is drive down to Columbus. I'll take you and Coleman out to dinner, and you.
And I'll end up paying.
Oh, hold on a second.
I'll end up
Yes,
paying.
I was just about to say that.
You won't take that to dinner.
You can take Coleman and I out to dinner, and you can eat a bunch of wings, and I'll film it.
That sounds fun.
And you can interview him without drinking water or beer. Makes it worse, right?
No. If you drink enough, it'll take the pain
Extinguish
away.
it?
Yes.
Then you're not allowed to drink beer.
I'll do shots of vodka.
How about shots of Fireball?
I ain't a bitch.
That's gonna be it. Fireball whiskey and hot wings and interview.
Bring it.
That's what we're gonna do. Interview coming to you, and that's gonna be what the Nutter House is all about. So, and think about campus fun with
Like a 42-year-old that hasn't grown up yet. Think of fun things that I could do on campus. Like probably an 18 to 22-year-old would do, but I have no shame in my game. I'll do anything.
Oh, that's another thing. You know what I like about this show is because we know what we want to start it off with, but we're kind of brainstorming as well. I would like to we should go down, if we do that with Coleman, I should have you go down and interview kids on the street and just, because some of them aren't going to know you, like especially the hippies kids.
Right. Tree huggers.
Yeah, but I love hippies, no, I love everyone. But when you go down there on campus, you be like, whoa! And they'll be like, whoa, who the hell are you? It'll be awesome. I'll just walk around videotaping you fucking messing with people.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I like it. So that's going to be one of our episodes coming up. But other ones is Nutter's got we got a studio set up in his spot out where he is out doing other stuff in the medical.
Real work.
Yeah, in medical industry. We're going to be shooting out there, so I'm going to be driving out there, doing some shows, and we're going to be arranging interviews with local fighters, amateur pros, as well as UFC fighters, Bellator fighters. You know what's amazing is I'm not going to drop any names because I don't want to tell. When you're a fighter, it's not cool to tell people's strategies. But me being his little brother and his best friend in the whole world, what's crazy is a lot of UFC fighters and teams call this dude up and tell them the plan and get his wrestling point of view. It's freaking crazy.
I'm pretty good at breaking down film. I think I'm a genius when it comes to breaking down fighting, wrestling. And I've got many people championships by breaking down their opponents and figuring out their weaknesses.
Like I said, some recent ones actually.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. That includes diet, working out, and everything. I know what to do. I just don't do it. But if you listen to me, you'll probably be successful.
That's right. I mean, you're the whole story to my success. That's for sure. That's why
we're filming this in a garage in your mom's basement, and she's making us cookies.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
And we don't even know these people.
No.
We're just filming in a garage somewhere.
We're gonna get kicked out. Right?
So you got to keep it down. So, anyways, so we're gonna have a bunch of fun. Hope you guys tune in. Follow this guy on Facebook, which is
The Nick Nutter.
The Nick Nutter. And we're gonna get him a Twitter. You got a Twitter, The Nick Nutter?
No, I got in trouble with that. It's better if I don't use it.
Okay, no Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take care of that. I got a media company I can hook you up with. That you know the owners, so you'll be cool.
I got too many bitches following me around this country.
That's right.
It's not good for marriage.
Is it like bitches or bitches?
Well, I just say bitches. Yeah.
Well, there's two types.
Bitches. Groupies. Nutter nut suckers.
Right.
You know I'm joking.
So being like a fighter that has been in the industry for a long time, that probably knows 90% of the game. What do you think the fight with the new purchase of the UFC, all the stuff that's going on? What do you think about the UFC right now? This will be the first. Let's do a UFC drop before we get out of here. What do you think about what's going on there?
I think it's good. I mean, it's
really
honest. Yeah.
Because listen, this is your show where I don't have to be political, and I'm gonna cut you off there, dude, because I think there's way too. I'm a producer, and when I see the whole thing, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. When I see people going on film, and right after they drop their urine and stuff and walk out and then start smoking weed on video, and then talk about it to the media because one of their maybe family members owes money to get back in. It's like all produced. It's like almost to me the media is not the media, but the product is there. They're selling, and it's more. It's more of a. It's kind of like what happened in music. You know, I say once selling products got in there because you got bottled water up there. You got all this other stuff. Just think about all the stuff they sell there. I mean, if they're not drinking water, they're drinking Monster, or something's up there. But everything is there to sell a product, including marijuana is about to be passed by the government. You see Obama, since Obama came here and he was about to do all this change and stuff, and he did some stuff, but it wasn't amazing. I think that he might go out with passing the weed bill or something. But I'm just saying, I'm seeing a lot of moves on that right now, and I just think when you have athletes and other people kind of saying that they use it kind of smooth things over. When they were selling cigarettes, Joe Namath was smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a UFC fighter smoking weed, a weed pen on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What that has to do with them UFC being bought, I don't know, but
because if you're bought by a company, now you're working with sponsors.
Okay, but
so now you have to create situations like when you watch Transformers or something like that, and they have product placement. So instead of you having, let's say marijuana is too retro, okay? You can't really run a commercial for that at the moment, but you can have a rogue fighter doing his thing to do a product placement.
Okay, you just saying all that proves my point. It's a good thing. Did you even know the storyline about weed and everything? It's a soap opera, and if you're turning in to watch it, then you're going to see what happens tomorrow. What happened with that suspension? What happened with that? That is part of the drama, is what sells tickets. So you knowing all that information is a good thing.
That's why this show is going to be awesome. I only did this research for your show.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure other people have heard of that. But all publicity is good publicity because it gets you talking about things. Conor McGregor and Chael Sonnen, people love him or they hate him. And even if you hate him, you're going to tune in just to see what they have to say because you hate him. And that's beautiful. That's what makes the world go round is, if you're just boring and you fight and you beat up your guy and you go to bed and you don't do any drama afterwards, that doesn't sell tickets. What sells
Nobody
tickets?
remembers you.
No. So I want to say I'm not that fighter of making drama, but it's selling tickets and it's a good thing. So any publicity is good publicity, whether it's bad or not. So that's my 2 cents.
And you know what? I totally agree with that. And that we'll leave you with that, and we'll. So the next time we get here, I guess we owe you Nutter's first experience.
Yep.
And we're gonna try to make it down to Ohio State here pretty soon, and bring Coleman into the mix.
Yeah, and if you want me to teach you how to do the Kindle Fire Stick, just PM me and I'll teach you.
Cool. You guys could actually even personally go to his condo and hang out with him. He's lonely. He'll love to hang out with you.
If you're really hot, girl.
I am hot. Can I come in? Okay, cool. So Facebook, The Nick Nutter, Advanced Sports Lab Network. Check that out. We're going to be putting a lot of new shows on there. It's a brand new page on Facebook, so go there and like it. And forever and always go and like and love Corrupt TV. And we will see you next week. And we love you. Give him a kiss. Out of here.